it going to show Shawn and us simultaneously everyone online? That's what I see.
How's it going, everyone? Shawn, you played two notes and it's already. Well. So good.
Yeah, we're live. What's up, everybody? Drop a comment if you can see us and if you can see Shawn.
Sorry if you can see me. I'll apologize.
Yeah.
Oh.
And one for Sam.
You can see all of us. Oh, there you go. You got the. No. It's. I don't even know if I can get it.
It's hard to do it.
What echo are you hearing from us?
Are they hearing Derek through the AirPods as well? They also have a mic in there. That's what it sounds like. Yeah. How's it going, guys?
What is up, everybody?
How about that? Echo there.
Oh, look, I can see that too now.
Hello.
Ingenious.
I guess.
Echo on me. Okay.
Yeah, I hear that too.
Do everything in the audio. John, do you have speakers on right now?
Oh, no.
No, he's using headphones.
Yeah.
The first time we're doing the remote thing, so it might take us just a second to figure her out. Thanks for tuning in, guys.
Wait, do I have speakers on? No, I don't. Just making sure.
Single repeat delay. Yeah, exactly. Except to hear what we're doing.
No.
So is it? I wonder if they're hearing what we're hearing too.
Well, what I hear from you guys is it's a little kind of phasey, but
yeah.
I don't know if that's on my end.
And is it on the guitar as well, or is it just a voice thing? You can just enlighten us with some beautiful playing while we're figuring it out.
Is it working though?
Oh, you sound great, man.
Alex, what if we kill our lapel mics and see if the AirPod mic picks up all the voices?
I still don't have that finger. It sucks. I don't have fingernails. I can't do any of that fun stuff anymore. Yeah, we got looks like Joe and Andy, and I sound like what was that show where she's like, I see Andy and I see Tasso, and what was that old like TV show? Oh, Romper Room. Was it Romper Room? Something like that?
All right. Well,
is it just on the guitars?
Can you guys hear me? You guys can probably hear me breathing, huh?
Romper Room, Scott says.
Nice. You're the man, Scott. I knew it was something.
He knows.
I don't know if that's good or bad that he and I know that, but Yeah, it was Robert.
There guys and vocals, yeah. Mean.
Yeah, so annoying.
It's okay. We can just listen to Shawn play.
Is my guitar? They're not talking about because I do have a delay on my guitar.
No, you're all good, man.
Oh,
it's
okay.
something's doubling up on our end. No, everything sounds great coming from you.
Everything does not.
It's almost like they're getting the delayed feed from the AirPods and the mic.
Yeah. It's the new voice delay that we're using. Yeah. Is there any way that we can get Shawn's voice through the recording monitors for now? That he's using AirPods.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah. You're great, man.
We're trying to see if there's another way that we can hear you rather than through these AirPods.
Oh, gotcha.
I think that's what's happening is that it's picking up the mic on both of them.
Gotcha.
No, he doesn't. I can't hear him.
Hey.
Can't hear Shawn.
Yeah.
The Rev DV.
Hey. Check 1, 2. Hey. Oh, is it? Can you guys hear? Is there any delay now on my voice or on my playing? No echo anymore. It's coming from his end. Okay. Shawn, can you hear Alex saying that?
Yeah. But there's nothing on. No, I know for a fact my monitors are muted unless, God, am I that deaf? Am I running like my phone's way too loud?
What happened there?
Is it better now?
Hey, there. The echo went away.
On our end, at least.
Can you guys hear it?
Echo came back. Oh, this is fun.
So
I have a delay on, so like that's not necessarily an echo.
No. We're not. Not at all. Oh, Jeremy. Well, frick. Okay, here we go.
We are good. All right.
Okay, we're good.
Sweet. Is the vocal okay?
So
yeah. What's up, Jose?
So, Shawn, did you change anything on your end?
nope.
Okay, crazy. So yeah, that is what it is.
I mean, I'm gassy.
No, that's good.
Yeah.
I can't smell you. I can hear you. No, there's...
Yeah.
Okay, well, we're good to go then. Sweet.
Echo came back. No. Already?
Take the dial up. No, we're good. Boomer Jeremy is
Hang on a second, because well, no, that's not it either.
No, I think for the most part, it looks like we are good here.
Yeah.
So,
Everybody say hi to Jeremy Brotaint.
yeah. Check the dial up, buddies. You know, buddies is spelled with an IE and not a Y.
Ooh.
Hey, buddy. Don't you buddy me, guy.
I'm not your guy, buddy. Great. Okay, we're good to go.
Okay.
Sweet.
All right. So now everybody can smash that like button so that people will actually pay attention because, yeah.
Yeah.
Now that we actually have some things figured out.
Oh, look at that. Anthony Best even knows the Brotain joke.
Yeah, I know.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Cool. How's everybody's Wednesday going?
Yeah. Brotainto chip?
Brotainto chip.
Yes.
Unreal.
Amazing. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. How's everybody's Wednesday night? Everybody got nothing to do like us? So
Yeah.
came to hang out. We just smashed a bunch of tacos, and
Derek makes real good steak tacos.
that's right, I do.
Yeah.
That's right, you're dead. So, yeah. So we're hanging out. We tonight we didn't have like a huge plan. Our only real plan was like, let's try to figure out how to get Shawn on the live streams properly, because it's been an ongoing discussion for the last like 3 or 4 months of how can we make this work. And then we decided today, you know what,
gonna do it.
Yeah, we're gonna do it, and that's why we had the last 10 minutes of it not working. So,
Hey,
but
what
you know
y'all
what?
doing? What y'all doing out there in Canada?
I will say that was a quicker fix than more complex things, or this is more complex than other things we've had to fix, and it got fixed quickly.
Yes.
So we're good. Yeah. How you doing, Shawn?
I'm good. You guys all right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, man, I'm good. I was trying to figure out like what guitar to play. Every guitar I grabbed is tuned down to half step, and like all of the ones on Sam's side are tuned to standard. So
Nice.
So nothing we play like let's. Oh, you did.
I tuned one. I tuned one down a bit.
Nothing that we play is gonna sound proper together. That's okay.
I'm not actually sure which ones of mine behind me are down a half step or standard. It's one way to find out.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of half steps. Everything just sounds more moody,
Oh yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, something about that.
What is
Got that
what
thing?
effect is that?
What?
That's the echo cancellation.
Is it
on StreamYard?
I'm like, what is that?
It's like some cool like rotary thing.
Yeah, it sounds like severe modulation.
Oh really?
Yeah,
it's the new StreamYard chorus pedal. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, exactly. It's exactly the tone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know that song.
You know more of it than I do, that's for sure.
I cover it a couple times.
Yeah.
It's one of the best drum grooves ever, though. Just
Good God, yeah.
Offbeat. Yeah, it's great. Yeah. Cool.
So we were going to talk about the Torpedo Embedded, because after all of the live streams we've done, we have yet to actually cover anything on the Embedded. And like we said, we wanted to get Shawn on here with us because, well, number one, Shawn's amazing. And number two, Shawn designed all the presets for everything that's in the in any of the Torpedo Embedded amplifiers.
Any of them, yeah. If you have a D20, G20, or a Mark III amp, Shawn made the presets on your cabs.
Yeah, I mean they're not my. I mean, I just did the presets. I didn't do the. I wish I'd done the cabs and all that fancy pants stuff. Tune Notes does, but
your wish could come true next time, Shawn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
we could send you everything to do them. It's like
good thing we know people who need that.
Yeah. Shawn's like, oh, I'm gonna regret that I said that.
No, I mean, but those honestly, those presets are just based on, years of using. I've got a set combination of mics and things that I'm used to. So when I did those presets, I was really kind of hyper focused on just making sure it made sense to me, because it becomes very difficult to try to cover all of the bases, because there's all of these amazing players out there. They're going to have different ears and play differently. But I thought if I can just kind of narrow it down to what has been an industry standard, it would just work a little better. With the Mark III, that was a little bit different ball game for me, because that amp is capable of everything. So that's why some of the cabinets I did mics off axis as opposed to totally on axis, which is, I'm a big fan of just everything being straight ahead. But just knowing what this amp was capable of, I was a little more cautious about making sure I did some off axis examples. But yeah, they seem to work well. I mean, I'm blessed that people dig them. They're just, like I said, it's just stuff sounds I've had in my head for years.
Mm-hmm. Can we do that on our end there, Alex? Yeah, we're good. Shawn, someone was just asking if you could come up a little bit level wise. Are you able to? Alex got it. Okay, we're good. Alex got it on our end. We're good to go.
Oh, okay.
No worries.
Vocal wise. Yeah, because
we're good.
That might be part of what's happening, because I've got my mic so hot now that
you're good. We brought it up on our end.
Okay.
So, yeah,
okay.
Cool.
Hyperbole Kid. Oh, it's awesome. It's great. Thanks for picking up a Mark III. Yeah, the digital side is honestly, one of my favorite things about the amps, because, I'm not really at a point in my life where I can, easily crank things up wherever I am anymore. Normally it's either, Sammy's recording stuff in here during the day using the direct out because I'm making phone calls or have meetings in the same office, and then if I want to record anything, I can't really crank a cabinet, at 11 o'clock at night without waking up my kids. And
no, even out here,
Yeah.
And just the treatment of it too, like, to get the directness of how they're captured, we would need to soundproof this room extensively.
Yes.
And we can't. So yeah, it definitely has been great for being able to record everything here. So
having it covered, the walls covered in wood, so that everything just bounces off it.
Everything
really help.
Everything reflects.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, so I think let's talk about like some of the capabilities of what you can do with the Torpedo embedded, and I think we have it set up here that we can show you the screen on our laptop here. That's look at that.
Look at that.
Look at this fancy stuff.
Well,
This
look
technology.
At that. Just
Well, would you look at that? Would you just look at it? Yeah. And everybody's left.
And we're going back to 2010 on this live stream.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, does the MK3 integrate with the wall sign? No. And you know what, Anthony? I'll be honest. I lost the remote for the wall sign, so we haven't turned it on the last 3 live streams because, well, I'm smart like that. Smart.
Don't look at it.
So,
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is the Torpedo remote for the Mark III Generator 120. It's the same essentially for the 100R and the 100P. It's for those of you guys that are familiar with the Two Notes products and kind of the Two Notes universe. The embedded that's built into the Mark III is pretty much the same capabilities as a Captor X. So you've got like the twin tracker in here, and you've got the the ability to do like 2 mics on a cabinet. The same, I guess that's the same in the Cab M now. The really big thing is being able to use the twin tracker and then the stereo output. So you can have it that like if we wanted to change this and go to the dual mono, if we're in the dual mono mode.
Do you want me to play a little bit so people can hear what's going on?
Yeah.
Cool.
Are you on and everything?
Yep.
You guys can hear Sam?
All right, I'm just going to give her a quick tune. I might have bumped something there. Clean tone for now, or?
Play some dirty a little bit. So one thing that I find that's really cool about the way that the remote is set up is this idea that you can run everything in stereo, and you can actually bypass the signal on the right. Alex, are we running stereo into here from there? Oh, okay. Let's see what do we get. You guys hear that?
That's what it sounds like without the IR.
That's right. So essentially what you can do, we're only running mono because we have mono as well right now. But you can defeat one side, like you can defeat the right side, so that when you're tracking, if you want to be using
like a post IR.
Yeah, exactly. If you want to essentially not reamp it, but if you want to play an IR after the fact and be able to kind of mess around and try different IRs, you can do that by recording essentially a dry signal from the amp.
That's actually what I've done with the D20 before. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then go and post and do it. Yeah.
Yeah. So the other huge thing that I'm a big fan of on this is the twin tracker. So why don't you play a little bit? I'm going to turn the twin tracker on.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love when I'm testing the amps, as soon as you I like to run it through the cab and the wedge, and as soon as you turn on the twin tracker, you get almost like this such a wide spread of tone. It's really, really, really nice.
Yeah, Shawn, what did you think of the twin tracker? Obviously the way you play and the way that I play and Sam play are very different, and to me what I liked about it was that I'm so used to playing with a 4x12 cabinet or 2x12 cabinet in a room loud, and I'm not used to playing it all the way that you normally do. I mean, you constantly, talk to me about how when you're testing things, you want to test everything on the mics because that's where you normally live now, right?
Yeah, I mean, my world lives on microphones. I mean, I like to listen to amps and cabs in the room, but once again, it's like I grew up. I mean, it's probably been 20 years now that I've been just listening to things pretty much on the mic. And I'll be honest with you, I had trepidations about the twin tracker. Like, I don't know, can you guys hear me? You guys hear that?
Oh yeah. Sounds
so
great.
If I turn on the twin tracker, it's nice and spread out, but the problem was I thought for sure it's like, oh man, this thing is going to be phasey. But honestly, I figured out pretty quick that they were very meticulous about making sure that everything was phase corrected in every position. So if I don't use it, if I turn it on,
so good. Yeah.
And it's so funny because I realized I could totally do the Randy Rhoads thing and like cheat. You know how he does the because he doubles it, and I was like, dang it, why didn't I think of that? Because I didn't think of that. But no, I'm actually really impressed with the twin tracker, and at the end of the day, it's like I think I've sent you a couple things where I've taken solos on people's and just did not tell them that I was just running the Rev Direct. And because even though I do have an ISO room for my cab, I play so ridiculously loud to get my tones that sometimes I still have to have my studio monitors be well above the sympathetic rumble that's happening in that other room. That having something I can run direct that still feels and sounds great, like that feels fine.
Mm-hmm.
Now, will my mic sound better? A little bit, but I mean, it's just gotten to a point now within the kind of hybrid realm, because my world is still, look, man, you got to play through glass if you're going to model on the back end. And I'm not in any way saying that, Axe Effects and all these amazing modelers aren't great, but at the end of the day, there's still something about moving electrons through a vacuum that just seems to work. So it's just gotten to a degree now where even an old fart like me is actually okay with running things direct. And like I said, when I put my mics up, I'm like, oh yeah, there's the air and there's a certain thing that only mics are going to capture, but man, it's getting close now, really close.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I find I still always prefer to play through, a cabinet in a room over anything, whether that's over going direct or even over it being on mics and hearing it through monitors, because I'm so not used to playing that way, because that's not really where I ever lived when I was, actively playing a lot. So it's still really foreign to me. But I find that the result that I get using the embedded versus, or using the Capture X or, previously the Torpedo Live or anything, the result that I get is so unbelievably good. I
think it's just the way that the dyno-IRs work too, as well, just in terms of like the room depth and everything like that. Because to me, it was kind of like thinking about what you said, Shawn. Like the first time I switched to playing, it was a digital unit, but playing with in-ears where everything was just there and there was no air in between anything, and it totally affected how it felt to me. And being able to capture that air with the dyno-IRs is really, I think, what makes it the closest thing possible.
Yeah, that, and like I said, you got to have tubes. I mean, I did that whole Storyteller tour on fractals, and they were great. They were fine, but the one thing that was really hard is it's really hard to capture completely. Like I said, they've gotten awfully good, but really capturing a tube, like an all tube front end, and then you're still hitting an all tube power section into a reactive load as opposed to having the whole thing being digitally modeled. That had a lot to do with it too. I mean, I eventually got used to it and got great sounds, but I, had this, or even back in the day the D20 existed, I would have been way happier to try to make, I mean, God's honest truth be told, I wouldn't have been able to, because the stage twisted and turned and flipped and flew and you couldn't have anything up there. But, that's, playing through tubes is, it's still it's a big deal to me.
Yeah, I find that, I mean, a lot of it is just that I'm not used to it, but whenever I play with any modelers like, the Helix, or I had a Kemper for a while, I find that it reacts so fast that I'm not used to it. So I find that it trips me up as a player. And it's just because I haven't spent enough time with it. Like, I know both of you guys have done tours with Axe FX, and I just find that there's something about the sag that you get from a tube power section that I just can't get when I'm playing a modeler. That's what, it has nothing to do with how it sounds. It sounds almost identical, but it has to do with how the sustain is, how the feel is to me, and it throws my playing off when it's way faster.
For me, in a live setting thing, it's the attack, like it's the sag, like you're saying, and like I remember doing several tours with a fully digital direct rig, and then coming home and playing at the Park Theater for a smaller show, but just plugging my 120 into a 212 and cranking it up, and I was like, yeah, like that's what I fucking want. So yeah, exactly. Yeah,
exactly. It's like, like I've said lots before, I play at my brother's church, once or twice a month, and there we're all on in-ear rigs, and like everything is direct, and I don't have a cabinet, and then every now and then I get to take a cabinet, and even just taking a 112 with a D20 in my rig, the difference in how I play and how everything feels to me, having that.
It's the space.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly. Everything else feels like I'm playing in a cardboard box. And I mean, that's also because, we don't have, a proper monitor engineer to mix in-ears for us or anything, because it's a small church, but it's, it makes a big difference. And I'm sure, for you, Shawn, like the difference there for you and I also is that, I mean, that's more the way you've been playing, right? Like you've been playing with either in-ears or cans on, or just studio monitors for forever. So you're used to hearing your rig as if it's in another room on mics anyway. And I'm totally not used to that.
Yeah, that's a big part of it, because even when I was at Sweetwater doing the D20 demo, that's a 20 watt amp, and that's an efficient amp. But I remember sitting there going, "Good God, this is loud."
Right, because it was in the room.
Yeah, I was like, "Yikes, this is loud. Should I turn down?" And they were looking at me like, "What's wrong with you?" "No, you're fine."
Yeah.
So yeah, it's like I'm very used, and that was the other thing I was very conscious of, especially doing all that touring, was getting used to not having so much volume. Because the biggest mistake I think guys, and especially actually churches, players at church, they run their in-ears so ridiculously loud because they're trying to feel something, and what they're wanting, they're literally trying to get their head to shake, which is the worst thing you could possibly do. So I really forced myself to play at minimal levels, to where I would turn my belt pack back into the monitor engineer, and he'd be like, "Could you hear anything?" I was like, "Yeah, it was perfect." He's like, "Well, how?" He would look at my belt pack setting and go, "How?" And that's the thing. I just learned to kind of, play through and realize there's more to feel than needing to have things, physically happening around you. You can, I guess that's a discussion for another day, but you can lock into things to develop a feel, and it doesn't really, we all love volume and we all love to play loud, but at the end of the day, I just kind of learned, this is direct into my eardrum. So if I turn this up really loud and try to just get my head to shake, that's going to be detrimental at some point. So, there's a little bit of that, but I will say, like I've taken, you guys can't see it, but I'm pointing to it. I've taken that amp, my Mark III, and I've plugged it into this little cabinet back here. It's a little Jackson audio cabinet. I'm not even sure what's in it, but I've played for hours through that, because the amp is so gracious when it comes to turning the volume down on the master. It still feels great. And I've sat and played for hours through that cab going, oh yeah, there is that thing, man, when you're just you, a guitar, and a cabinet and the right amp. It's like I'm not throwing that out the window. I'm just saying it's like, I've just had so many experiences now where everything is on the mics, but I will never say that it isn't glorious to stand in front of the right amp and cab and just crank it. It is gratifying.
It's funny. We were testing out a new product, like 2 weeks ago. Dan brought something by for us to try out, and I always feel bad whenever Sam and Dan are in the office with me to try anything out, because I immediately, I'm like, can I turn it up, guys?
You're like it's so fucking loud.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, like, exactly.
So I'm gonna crank this because that's where it feels the best to me and sounds the best. And you just watch both Sam and Dan both in the room. They're like, yeah, sure, man. Like, and they're both standing like this, like instantly, just be like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, that thing is like Robbie Timms. He's saying the same thing. He's saying when I gigged with my Helix, I only ever played it through a power amp for that exact reason. So that's totally it. It's, there's a certain thing about, cranking through power. And it's the same thing, Derek. It's like, you don't realize like this is actually yikes loud, but it's still awfully gratifying.
Yeah,
exactly.
When I learned that you're not supposed to mix music at full blast, it was like, what?
Oh yeah.
Just like at a reasonable level. Yeah.
Well, Dorian was in here. He's like, man, it's really loud. Anytime I play, it's really loud.
Yeah. It's the biggest mistake you can make, because when I do demo videos, I'm very, very cautious about not having my monitors cranked up very much, because I know it'll fatigue my ears, and then I'm going to think the guitars are actually darker than they are, and I'm going to keep dialing things brighter, and I'm going to misrepresent how things sound. So it's really, really important. And some of the best like mix engineers, man, they'll mix it like whisper volume sometimes, and then even when they bring it up, it's still not like that loud. They probably don't turn on what I call the party speakers until the client's there, and then they turn on the party speakers and walk out of the room.
Yeah, exactly. Let them take
read the room through the window.
Yeah. Okay, DEA Nathan. In a world where legendary amp sims, cab IRs, and great tech to back those sims and IRs, what makes this amp different, and what sets this amp apart?
Thanks for buying one as well.
Yeah.
Bought one.
So, I mean, honestly, to me, what got me involved with Rev in the beginning, because I don't know how many of you guys who are watching this who know much of my story and how Dan and I met, or how I got involved, but I used to mainly play, Mesa rectifiers for modern high gain sounds, and like any Fenders for cleans. And what I always kind of thought was that most of the amps that I own, which I own a lot of stuff that's not our stuff, that they're mostly, in my opinion, are kind of one-trick ponies. And it's not that they can't do something else. It's just that they do something amazingly well, and then the other things they don't do nearly as well. So I was always like, I can find something that does something else better on this. And I'm not saying that the 120 by any means does everything the best of what it can do. Like there's other amps that can do crunch tones that are amazing in that as well, and clean tones. But I found that I didn't feel that any channel was kind of an afterthought. And I normally, especially on like 3-channel above amps, I feel like one of the channels is always an afterthought.
Absolutely.
So and the voicing was different, right? Like it didn't sound like a rectifier. It didn't sound like a 5150, but it sounded like what I wanted those amps to do.
It was a mix of the character that I liked of both of those amps.
Yeah.
I think of what it was. Like it had kind of like that mid cut of a 5150 with kind of like the bass, like the low end thickness of a recto. It was just like a nice balance of both of those sounds.
It had the sag that I was looking for, but still somehow remained really tight, which was really a strange thing for me, because I was used to either it's a tight, fast responding amp, or it's sloppy and muddy in the low end.
Yeah.
And this,
and I mean, I don't think either channel is muddy in the low end at all, but 3 and 4 are voiced quite differently in terms of the sag for those different types of players that prefer those things. Like I generally, for most of the modern types of tones, will go to channel 3, and then for pretty much any classic high gain tones, I'll go to channel 4, just because, like, although they do both have that rev, clarity, that does verge more on the spectrum of people who might like a little more sag, So yeah, it does. I guess, like what you said from the beginning, is like, I can't count how many times someone has bought one of these and they're like, man, the clean channel, I didn't expect that. And it's like, yeah, it's not a metal amp. Like it does. I mean, it is, but it will do this just as well.
Yeah, like Joseph commented up there. I mean, he keeps popping in all of our live streams and saying, when are you going to build a metal amp? And I'm like, never. I don't know. Like, because like I mean, I mostly use the G2 or the green channel on most of our stuff, and like
it can do that. It's metal.
Yeah, I mean, clearly Shawn's not a metal dude, right? Like, Shawn,
No,
what's
not at
your
all.
kind of opinion on what sets the generator side? I mean, you've played everything under the sun.
Yeah, I've played a bunch of amps. I mean, in reading what he wrote, he's basically saying there's a lot of great tech, there's a lot of great amps, and honestly, what to me sets this amp apart is this is all happening in one amplifier first of all. And the way hopefully this doesn't sound confusing, but the way I'll back that up is I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I've got 10 amps here. Now, when I run every single one of those amps through my universal aux, which I love. But here's the thing: when I use my Rev, I don't feel like, I need to run that through the aux too. It's like, no, that runs direct and it gets everything I need. So, when I think of what sets it apart, I mean, well, Rev has a very signature sound, and Rev does what you dial it to do, because I'm not a metal player, and I get the sounds I want out of that amp. But more than that, I think what truly sets it apart is, man, that's all in one amp. It's like I can just turn that thing on, XLR out, and go. If I want to honk through a cab, I can haunt people with it. But at the end of the day, that's a big thing that sets it apart. You've got a ridiculous amount of valves happening before you hit a really, really great digital back end, should you choose to use it, or you can put the thing on mics and it'll sound hauntingly good. So yeah, it's just a crazy versatile, just workhorse of an amplifier. And I thought I saw someone else had asked, and it's a good question. He was mentioning, because I can't see it in the chat now, but he was saying, have you ever cranked the amp through a cab in the 10 watt mode? Because he was basically saying it's still really loud. And to me, it's like, well, the 10 watt mode is not what I would think of as playing the amp in, like, at a softer level. I think of that more as I want the back end of this amplifier to be less efficient and break up sooner. I want to hear the power amp kind of giving up. I tend to, unless I want that sound, I tend to turn down the master volume, because the master volume is so good on the amp. There it is. Great. Thank you. Yeah. Hyperbole Kid. Hyperbolic Kid. Anyways. Hyperbolic Id. Yeah. I like that. But honestly, to answer that question, that's, 10 watt, the 10 watt mode is still going to be, fairly loud, but you can turn that down too. You can make that so it's whisper volumes, but I use that 10 watt mode because I want the power amp to do something different than what it's doing. If that, hopefully, sorry, I've been rambling. I'll stop now.
Well,
Sam,
no, I think you're right. It's like that misconception of like 100 watts is 10 times louder, and it's like, no, it's not. It just kind of controls the threshold at which that's going to start to break up more.
It's headroom.
And exactly. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't use the lower wattage modes on any amp we build.
Me either. Sometimes on the D20 if I want to get real quiet at home but still use a cab, but again, as Shawn's saying, it's like it still gives me a lot of the juice. It's just the when the tubes start to sizzle.
Yeah, I find that the master volume controls are good enough on the amp that you can play at a low volume and you're not sacrificing, any feel or anything.
Yeah, because you've got a killer like the depth control. If you're just wanting to feel some shake still, then as you turn that thing way down, then crank the depth control. And actually turn the presence up a little bit. That's a global control that will allow you to have that loud amp feel without it being, at a loud amp volume.
Absolutely.
Eric, any chance of a 740 with a purple channel in place of the clean slash crunch channel? I don't think there would be any chance of it in place of it. I think there's pretty much zero chance that we'll ever build an amp where we don't include usable clean with either a boost or a drive or something. Maybe the chance for a replacement where
it would be like purple instead of
red there'd be a 740 purple or and a 740 red kind of thing. It's tough to say because the 740 is kind of a special amp because of the fact that it's got a 6v6 power section and not a 6L6 power section. So it definitely responds very differently. It feels very different to any of the bigger generators.
Yes.
And we are working on a replacement for the 740, like a Mark III version of a lower wattage amp. It won't be here before next year for anybody who's looking for one.
Who's chomping at the bit.
And it won't be the same as the existing 740 for sure. So there will be something that kind of comes into its place in the Mark III lineup, but it will be significantly different. So for anybody who, like, I see Scott, commenting about loving his 740, it's still like, for just my favorite amp of ours to play, it is still without a doubt my favorite amp to sit and play through a cabinet. And I would say most likely when we do release a Mark III, that'll be the end of the current kind of iteration of the 740. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm like 90% sure. So for people who are into that amp and who have played it before, I would say this is the last year to get a production model of it before it'll change and go away, and it'll something cool will replace it, but it'll be different. So
that's a good word for it, Eric. Nice bark with the 6v6s.
Yeah.
It is the I'm Awake amp, Jack. You're correct. That is the intervals twang tone is a generator 740 for anyone who doesn't know that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. The 740, I was just using that this morning, and how I was using it was I was actually cranking it so that the 6v6s were barking actually on the clean channel, and it does. That's a good amp, man.
It's been my favorite since we started. I mean, I love everything that we do. Like there hasn't been an amp that we've done where I've been like,
wouldn't do it if there was.
No, but
Right.
if I have my choice and like I don't need to go direct or I don't have a Captor X or something like that to use to go direct, I will always choose a 740. There's something about not just the green channel on that amp, but the red channel with the gain. Like my trick that I always do, like I roll the gain rate off on the second channel on the red channel, and I use a Strat or a Telly, and it is it's awesome. Johnny, can you do a custom color on the heads? Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, if you watch our website sometime in the next couple of weeks, hopefully we should be launching something cool that you can preview, how an amp is going to look. I don't know when that's going to be up, but we're working towards that so you guys can get an idea of what Tolex options we have and kind of mock up your own build. So, yeah. You mock up the ugliest like zebra print with like purple faceplate and
the Joe Exotic signature.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Power section part of the two-note system. That's a good question from Andy there.
Yeah. So I'll probably answer that.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's two things that you need to know. Queso. It goes with our tacos.
Oh, yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Queso.
The
second comment there.
The power amp simulator, I think is what you're talking about from the Torpedo. It's only available in the Alpha Series amps because the Alpha Series amps are using essentially the same firmware as the Cab M from Two Notes, which has the power amp modeling because it's meant to be just in their cab sim pedal and to be used with preamps. So it was included in the D20 and the G20. The difference was when we went to do the Mark III, we had the choice of either having that or having the twin tracker, and we really wanted to have the stereo output on the Mark IIIs. So we went with the Captor X. So we're hoping that an update in the future from Two Notes, like a firmware update, will include power amp modeling across the entire lineup, but it'll be a while before we see anything like that from them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Is Nor going to send a quad? I don't know.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've never spoken to anybody at Neural, so
yeah,
no idea.
Good box though.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah. Andy,
Wade, Wade, I got your email about that amp you got from Troy. Sorry, I just wasn't in the office much of yesterday or today. So I will, we'll get in touch with you and we'll get it set up so you can get a new faceplate for that.
Yep, no problem.
Yeah. So do we want to hear some more tones here? And like, you guys want to see a little bit more about what the Torpedo can all do? Because that is something that, like I said, we've really not touched on any of our live streams. And the Dyne-IR system is so much, I don't want to say so much better than just a static IR, but there's just so many more options and so much more tweaking and tone shaping in that you can do, because it's not just a static.
It's kind of like how we were talking about having like the space, and it allows you to get that, like the kind of the parameters that you're able to work with, as opposed to just having sort of a fixed simulation, you know, like being able to affect, you know, room size, mic placement, types of mics you're using, on-off access. Like there's so many variables that can truly replicate what you're saying, Shawn. Like it's that room sound, it's that space. And they've really found a way to do that, I think, better than anyone else is right now. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's not just a single snapshot, right? Like, like a static IR is. So, cool. So, you guys want to hear dirty tones or clean tones? We should probably show some clean tones first. Sam, and then we'll get Shawn. If you want to, we'll get you to show us some of kind of your favorite tones and like what your kind of go-tos that you use for presets are. I mean, we can't see Shawn's Torpedo remote to see exactly what he's doing, but he can give us kind of a lowdown of what's what. And maybe what I'll do is while Sam plays, I'll kind of turn on some of the reverbs and like shift through some of the rooms and stuff, and then also move some of the mics around and show you guys how you can select different mics and like what can kind of go where.
Sure.
So yeah.
Yeah. What kind of tone do you want?
Play something kind of cleanish. Keith, what's going on? Keith, I am so sorry that I did not call you back. I still do need to call you, and I will call you tomorrow. I promise.
Well, as I live and breathe, is that Keith?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'll just quickly answer Jack. Jack, would Rev...
Attacking a tube screamer. G2 can get on that turf.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're not big on just putting out something that's either a clone or something that somebody else has done. Like Dan really wants to create new voicings, new products that exist in a different space. It can exist alongside something like a tube screamer or some other high gain pedal or But we kind of all have the philosophy here that like we don't want to just rehash somebody else's design and put it back out. We would rather come up with something that is ours and is unique and also is problem solving. Like those are kind of the core things that we chase after. So
I think a lot of the stuff that we have been putting out are things that kind of solved things that we were looking to solve. 100%.
It's things that I would like to see that would have made my gigging days easier, right?
Absolutely.
So, okay, cool. Let's we're gonna play a little bit. I'm gonna just do a few things, and I'm gonna talk over top of Sam while he plays too. So,
is that good?
Yeah. Why don't you kill your?
Delay.
You can leave your delay. Kill your delay so that they can hear
the verb.
So right now there's no reverb or anything. It's a 4x12 with an SM57 and Royer 121. Both of them are on Access. The cab verb? This is the, that's the cathedral room.
So all the verb you're hearing is from the tune of the software.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm like cycling through. I'm not sure how well you guys can read that, but like there's a lot of different room reverbs that we can go through here. The cathedral's probably my favorite, but you have to leave it like at like 4 or 5%, otherwise it just gets to be too much.
That was the real space you went, eh?
Yeah. You want to see one mic on the back? Sure. Yeah, you can mic the backs of the cabinets if you want. We can also move these around the room just by grabbing them. Like me wanting to move that one.
I'll call that outside playing, Shawn. That was the wrong note.
So there's a 421.
It's a Royer 421, yeah.
Yeah, and then like you can select from the drop-down menu. There's all sorts of stuff that you can do, especially if you get into like using like La Boutique and stuff. Like we're just using the presets right now, but man, there's so many cabinets you can choose from. Like when you go through, like there's like just a ridiculous list of stuff, and you can preview everything in here. Like so, it shows which ones we already have loaded in, but like. Say you're big. You know what? One of my favorite ones is the brownie back.
What you're viewing right now, Hyperbowl Kid, is hooked up via USB onto a laptop. So we're screen sharing a laptop with Torpedo remote open right now.
Yeah, but with your Mark III, you can
do it on your phone.
Yeah, you can do it on your phone with Bluetooth. It's just we can't really stream that very easily.
Yeah.
What types of reverbs are included? Well, that's what this list here is. So you've got like a studio, like 2 different types of studio rooms. Then you've got the basement, the loft, hall A, hall B, the crypt, the cathedral, plate, spring, tile, chamber, and custom. So there's a lot of shaping that you can do there. Let's see if this loads for us.
Preview, eh?
Yeah, so you can preview any cabinets. Let's see how well it works. Yeah. So now what it'll do is it'll randomly mute on you, so you can't really record with it or track with it, but you can at least get a really good feel for what it sounds like
before you buy it.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yeah, that's one of the most genius things about Two Notes is being able to audition those cabs that way. It's very cool.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think it's for some reason though. I think it only lets you audition like you can only load one mic at a time when you're auditioning it.
Yep.
So
it's not until you buy it, but it still gives you a good enough idea, you know, of the general characteristic of the cab, and then you can go back to, you know, mics you dig.
Yeah, enough that you can get a little taste of it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure. There's a built-in gate, which I mean on the Mark III is kind of irrelevant because it has it. Although I will say this for all you guys that own G20s and D20s, Two Notes sent us a message like a week or two ago asking us if we want them to update the firmware on the D20 and the G20 to include the digital gate, and we were like, of course. Like,
absolutely.
If you're able to do it, like, why not?
Why not put more in there?
Yeah, the more options you have, the better. So yeah, you've got some other like shaping options in here. Like the enhancer is kind of cool too. Let's.
That's really nice.
Yeah. So you've got lots of little options that you can kind of mess with in the remote and to kind of check things out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, tons of stuff in there, and it's just crazy that that's all like. What's crazy is that that's all recallable with MIDI. You can just save like as many different settings as you want and just have them. You know, like to be able to just eliminate some of the, I mean, the verbs on their own, just to be able to eliminate some of that on a board or in any other way and just have it stored in a preset. Yeah, is amazing. Yeah.
David Suzuki asked, what...
Like the famous guy?
Yeah, like the nature of things. Which cabs are your favorites? So mine, I'm not just trying to plug our stuff because, I mean, if you have one of our amps, you get it free. Anyway, I'm a big fan of the 4x12, like the Rev 4x12. I think Paul at Stereo Bus did just an amazing job at capturing our cabinets. And, I mean, he does an amazing job capturing tones on anything that he does. And apart from that, I really, really like that Brownie back cabinet that we were just messing with a little bit there. Mm-hmm. So
I feel like 9 times out of 10 when I'm tracking something, I end up using the stock 412. Which is like the first simulation on the amp. Like most of the videos that I've done recently on our page have been just the stock 412.
Do I typically buy the cabs in packs or in individuals? So if you're talking about like the Dyne IRs, they often run like big cab pack sales like once every, I don't know, once every month for sure.
Frequently, yeah.
So, you know, honestly, if you like tweaking and if you wanna really mess around with a bunch of different cabinet options and have all those kind of different flavors, I think that's really good value. I'm pretty sure when you're buying one virtual cabinet, it's €8 because Two Notes is based in France, so everything's based in euros. So that's like $10 US maybe. I'm like Sam, and I'm, you know, I probably shouldn't speak for Shawn, but I bet you Shawn's going to agree with this, and that is, I honestly have like 2 or 3 like IRs or presets that Shawn designed that I'm like, I love these tones, and honestly, I normally adjust either my EQ or something either in my playing or on my pedal board to adjust to the sound of the cabinet, whether it's a physical cabinet or a virtual cabinet or a Dyne IR. So
yeah, I tend to get. I'm very settled on cabinets. I mean, I've maybe just got a couple that and honestly, I shouldn't even say a couple. I mean, I'm really, really settled on the cab that I use on the Mark III, and I'm extremely settled on the cab that I use even when I use my aux. It's like, unless it's something, if it's on a session where it's like, oh no, that sound needs to be an open back, less efficient thing, then okay, I'll find that cabinet. But for my sounds, you know, like even, I mean, that's still. So, I mean, that cabinet's great, but I can still bump over and be perfectly happy with the cab on that setting.
What button are you pushing on your pedal board that makes those noises?
Huh?
Like I can't see your hands. Like clearly you're pushing something, and then everything sounds amazing.
Sorry, I'm reaching over to the amp, but
yeah, it's like one of you went to Staples and just bought an easy button. Just
yeah,
did it that way.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, I know that cab will work, but I mean, I can go into. Let me see if I can keep from screwing this up. Watch this, kids. Can you guys still see me?
Yep.
Or does it matter? Okay. So, you know, for me, I can, like the verb you're hearing, that's actually, that's from the amp. I'm going to shut it off. It's actually one of my favorite verbs. So now you're hearing just a delay, fancy pants delay that I have going on in Pro Tools. I can even shut that off. Watch this. Okay, that's off.
That's what the trick was.
Oh, we got one of those repeaters.
Yeah.
But for me, I do like the Hall verb. So that's just Hall A ambient. And one thing I think a lot of people like, that's quite a bit of verb. And I think the mistake people make, I shouldn't call it a mistake, but people think, oh, that's overwhelming. But sometimes if you take advantage of the color control, instead of turning the verb down, just make it darker. Not that dark because my guitar was off. So I just turn the color down. If I turn the color up a little bit, I'm not really changing the level, but now it's a little more present, and I haven't touched anything.
It's like a frequency thing.
Yeah. So I'm one of those guys where I get really punchy about reverbs unless it's a really great sounding, like the verb that's on the amp. The spring is great, but at the end of the day, I really like to see a tone control or some sort of color control on like a reverb setting. And then, mics wise, where'd you go? Oh, there you are. Mics wise, like I'll go back to the Crunch Wing Dinger. Sorry, I'm like facing my monitor, so my guitar is a little noisy. I can shut, just to like let you guys into my weird world, is I can shut mic A off, which was the 57. Now we're just hearing the ribbon mic. Hear how massive that sounds? Now that by itself is not going to work in a track, but it does sound great. But if I go the other way, at least in my case, and just have the 57, there's all that punch in that upper mid bite, but now I'm missing the cabinet. It's like, oh, where'd the cab go? And that's really, that's my world. Now, if I want something brighter, what I'll do is instead of messing around, really changing anything, I'll just switch the Royer to, like, in this case, it's the S5E mic. Now it sounds like a completely different beast. The top end is different. It's a little tighter.
Right away,
yeah. So if I need that to sit in a track better, I'll switch to that. But for the most part, I'll go back to the ribbon. It's a little more pillowy. And that's, I love that sound. Yeah, but that's the thing. It's like, just change a mic, and you're good to go. I mean, I left the reverb on. Sorry, guys. But yeah, you get the idea. That's kind of, how I approach it. And like I said, verbs, all these verbs are actually really good. and for a guy like me, there's probably more than I need. As long as there's a spring and a couple hulls, I'm happy. But you can, obviously go as crazy as you want. Sorry, I'll stop talking.
No, dude.
Shawn, so Sam asked there, what's your favorite speaker to use in your D20?
Oh, hey, Sam. Honestly, I still, anything you guys have heard me do with that D20 has always, always, always been that first position 4x12 cab with the Royer and the 57. I don't think you guys have ever heard me. The only reason I'll go away from that cabinet is if I'm on a session, like I said, where I need like a 1x12 sound, but
a very specific sound.
Yeah. But otherwise, when I just want to sit and play, or if I'm doing something on the channel, it's like, no, I'm the happiest on that 4x12 cab, even with the D20, and that includes the G20 as well.
9 times out of 10, that's what I'm using in the videos here too.
I'm curious for those of you guys that are on the chat right now that own Revs, what's your go-to? Either dyne IR or static IR. I mean, I know that there's like this massive world of people just capturing their own cabinets with their favorite mics and their favorite mic position, and that's what they're using. I'm always interested. Like Ken Susi has like this killer Mesa 4x12 that we used to use, before we had done all the dyne IRs of our stuff. It's
I also saw a story. I think Jack asked before if you could load, like he asked specifically about the Zilla pack, but you can load third-party IRs into the software.
Yeah, so as long as Jack, as long as you're not thinking that you'll be able to do all of the mic movements and all that kind of stuff around with it, it will just load your static IR and allow you to use it in the amp.
It's under whatever parameters it was captured.
Yeah,
right.
For sure. And I don't know if Zilla's done dyne IRs or not.
I think they have static IRs. I don't know if they have dyne IRs. I will say they do sound very good. I've used those before, but I'm not sure if they are static or not.
I don't see anything in here. They may have some in there because I know like Hot Pole has done a whole lot, and I know Hot Pole's had some Zilla stuff.
That's
but
Adam, right?
Yeah. But often in the two-note system, like if it's not the manufacturer doing it, it'll be labeled as
like whoever.
Yeah, like the Brownie back is actually somebody who did a 5150 cab is what it actually is, because it's meant to be like an EVH cabinet, and you can kind of see it's got like the oval EVH badge outline in there. So the
ML Sound Lab IRs are very good, Robbie. I've used the ML Sound Lab ones numerous times, and I think it actually might be the ML. Actually, it's funny. It was the ML Zilla that I liked.
Nice.
The ML Zilla Flat 212 we used on a bunch of stuff. Look at these nerds. Holy crap. Look who just showed up.
Robert Baker has decided to grace us all with his presence. I wish we knew how we could patch Robert in here and we could make sure that Shawn and Rob had to trade licks, because that would be my favorite thing.
We'll just get them both dialed up here, and then we'll leave.
Yeah, exactly.
They can just talk to each other.
Yeah. You'll just see an empty room.
He would bury me.
That's right, Rob. I have my blue telly out just for that.
Oh, that's funny.
Is that?
That's my only trick. Yeah.
Can I even do it?
That one, there's not enough springs, man.
As I do it with this one, the trem goes down. It's like you can't do the unison
just fight
bend.
it like crazy trying to get it.
Yeah.
Go on, get after it.
Yeah. I actually used this guitar. I think has been. Sorry, I just realized I didn't check. This guitar has been with us forever. I actually used it to record the other day, and it still sounds freaking amazing.
It's awesome. It's my favorite telly. I have another telly I really like. Oh, and look who else has shown up. Justin Bryant. So, Justin, you can sift back through an hour and 10 minutes of us telling everybody the wrong stuff about Two Notes. So, Justin is the director for Two Notes North America, and knows far more about the dyne IR system than I do.
Than any of us.
Yeah, Justin, does Zilla have any cabinets, or has anybody done any Zilla cabinets? Like under Hot Pole or anybody like that you know of?
Also, it's BHG. Am I really stupid? He says BHG greater than ML, but I don't know what BHG is.
Is that Justin? Is that Michael Nielsen's cabs?
If it sounds good, it's good.
Yeah,
it sounds good. It is good. Yeah, I like some of the STL ones too. Actually, the Sunny True Love ones are great. That's good.
I was just checking out yeah, it's Michael Nielsen's cabs, but I can't remember what they're called. But he's done like a bunch of like vintage cabs.
Yeah.
They're not called Michael Nielsen, put it that way, but they sound good. Yeah, they're good sounding cabs. They're very vintage. Michael knows what he's doing. They're definitely proper. I was trying to remember, and I think it's, I don't know.
Did he do a Kemper pack too?
Michael,
like a Kemper cab pack? No,
that would be Michael Britt. Michael Britt.
Michael Britt. I was gonna say that's what all the country dudes are using on their Kempers. Yeah.
No, Michael Nielsen. I think he's out in L.A. He's got great ears. He's a cool player, and he did a cab pack that actually they sent me to check out, and I was impressed with it, man. If you want like that kind of vintage thing from I shouldn't say vintage about a 12L, but he does an actual 12L cab, and he does a greenback cab and a 30 cab. They sound good, man. If you just if we're gonna go through cabs to check out, I would check those out. I thought they were good.
Awesome.
Justin, are you trying to say that you don't know all 450 of the Dyne IRs that are loaded in the tune-out system?
Say them all right now.
Yeah, exactly. We'll wait.
Dude, that's kind of your job. Do your job, dude.
Oh, Marty, what's up, man? I've heard good stuff about the Ownhammer cabs too, actually, but I've never got to try them.
Ownhammer cabs are great.
Yeah,
I have tried them. They're legit. Ownhammer cabs are good.
Nice.
Yeah,
man.
Good to see you, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah, one of the reasons I'm a big fan of the two notes, like the Dyne IR system, is mostly because I worked there for a while. No.
They paid me to like it.
Exactly. Yeah. Because it's the only thing I knew. No, what I really loved, or what I really respected about how Two Notes structured their virtual cabinet system is that they made everything so that it's proprietary, which I know frustrates some people because you can't just go share your files like you can profiles and IRs. But what really, like for me, what really kind of hit things home is they do a proper revenue split with manufacturers, and they actually try to partner with us to make sure that it's within our best interest to want to have our stuff in their system. And like right now with Kemper, for sure, like there's zero reason for us to do licensed Kemper profiles except to, try to make a quick buck off the internet as we release it, and then they get pirated right away after that. So Two Notes, because of the way their system is set up, it really makes it advantageous for you to go through and do, doing each capture is going to take you at least 2 to 4 hours once you're set up and everything's running properly. So yeah, it definitely, I don't know, it felt like more of a partnership rather than we created something and then watched somebody else try to essentially copy it and sell it.
Absolutely,
which is frustrating.
It was very much like it was like a team collaboration, and they were just they were just as much concerned about our best interests as we are with theirs.
Yeah,
and that's why it works.
And they're good dudes. Everybody at the company except for Guillaume is good people.
And Justin.
So,
yeah,
and maybe Justin. So, no.
Tone Wars asks, how involved was Rev in the making of the IRs and cab emulations? We have the man here who did it.
Okay, so making of the emulations. So 2 things. Number 1, the presets you're using, Shawn is the one who designed those. In the actual capturing of the impulse response, or Dyne IRs or virtual cabinets, or whatever you want to call it, we were very involved. We picked the studio. I was at the studio, picked the mic sets, I don't know if we talked to Shawn on the front end about the mic sets or not. I think Paul and I picked the mic sets for the first set because I think we did those before we were working together, Shawn.
Yeah. What you guys sent me had already been done. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first set though, we went to Stereo Bus, and my good friend Paul Yee was the engineer who owns the studio, and him and I worked together. And by him and I mean mostly him, and I would just help move mics around. And the process for doing the captures for Dyne IRs is fairly tedious.
Not as exciting as you may think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, that's why I don't do them. It's actually misery.
It takes a long time, and you need a lot of space.
Yeah.
And you need the right gear and the right people. So, but yeah, so we were very involved. It wasn't done somewhere else, meaning like we didn't just, send it to France or send some cabinets to France and tell them to do it. We, it's cabinets that we were using that, ones that we had been using for playtesting cabs, so they were well broken in when we did them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're ones that we actually had used.
Yeah. So, do any of your amp heads have built-in
attenuator? There is wattage. I think you mean not. I think you may mean an attenuator. It does have I guess you would call it a power soak or whatever. It goes from 120 watts to 10 watts. Yeah. Or on the 740, 7 to 40 watts. On the G20 and D20, 20 to 4 watts. Will Rev combo amps ever return?
Hell yeah!
There you go.
Yes.
You heard it from the man himself.
Absolutely.
Yep. There we go.
I have no idea when, but absolutely. Right now, like, honestly, I don't think, Shawn, I don't think you'll care if we say this, but, like, Shawn will be helping us essentially redesign the Dynamis sometime in the next year. It won't be anytime soon because there's a lot of stuff, and to be honest, we're still very, very busy. So
we still haven't caught up with all the MP3s
but
yet.
Yeah, I mean, I really want to see a Dynamis combo. I'm really interested in seeing how it sounds with like, I've been playtesting like the Celestion Neo Creamback to try to do something where we don't have such a heavy amp, because the whole reason that the Dynamis combos went away was they were just too heavy. They sounded great, but just a standard combo was like 63 pounds for a 112. Like, just no one wants to move it around.
I remember.
It's either like 58 or 63 pounds or something stupid.
There's one right here, and I would try to pick it up, but this is my bad shoulder, and I don't want to dislocate it.
That's the 210. It's like 70 pounds. And it sounds amazing, but it sucks to move around. Yeah. So
it does sound incredible.
Yeah. Everybody, maybe we can bug Rob Baker to tell us what his... he's got something cooking where he keeps posting pictures of guitar boxes showing up at his place and says...
I know, that dude gets more guitar
Saturday.
Yeah, so many guitar boxes.
Man, I really hope that he's just trolling his followers and that, like, he's just going to give away an empty guitar box for a guitar he got. Just be like, can you win?
It's like, joke's on you guys. I'm shipping some guitars.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, you win this empty Fender box. Thanks, guys.
Yeah. Send us those so Derek can ship some guitars out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, anybody want to buy an Ibanez RG350 DX White? Maybe, what else we got? Can we start an auction?
We got is the Tom DeLonge for sale? No. Tom DeLonge's not for sale.
No,
we got the Mike Mushok baritone. We got the Fernandez 7-string.
The Fernandez
6-string.
That's beat up.
Got I think we might do if anybody wants the Cam 7 Mark II, the Rev Cam 7 Mark II, we might be interested in selling that.
We'll see. Trades. I got this really nice LSL Gold guitar behind me.
I will kill you.
Sold to Shawn.
It's okay. You still have the DGT, so you can leverage us by not letting us play that ever again.
I see how you've like nicely hidden it out of frame so that Rob and I don't get to see it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'll wait, which one?
Shawn has, without a doubt, the nicest PRS on the planet.
That's the nicest PRS I've ever played.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, it's a good one. It's a lovely guitar for sure.
Someone wants to hear you play more beautiful clean tones, Shawn.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
So do I.
And Rob, yes, maybe there might be a Rev amp. I don't know. I guess me and you need to chat. Something. I don't know what's going on. Everybody should check out Rob's channel though if you haven't. It's full of
got a great
all sorts of good little tips and tricks on how to play the guitar properly, especially for kick-ass dad rock licks.
So if you want to play like a dad but you're not a dad, Rob Baker.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Dick.
Oh wait, that's not a clean channel. Hang on. That's
I don't care what it is, man.
Yeah.
It sounds so good.
That's channel 2. Which I actually use quite a bit, just the way I used it. because it backs off so great. But then if I just do a back humbucker, I get my crunch thing. Anyway, so let me go to that clean.
Sam Peasy Long McQuaid does sell Rev, and I believe they should be getting some Pro Series. I'm not sure if they'll be in Toronto, but they will be getting some.
Yeah, and out that way, I mean, I don't know how close Frank's Music Center is. I think that's maybe down in like Windsor area.
Yeah, it's a little out there.
Yeah, there's a number of places, Sam, in the GTA area though that you can. Yeah. Although I realized I just said GTA area, which is
Greater Toronto
area. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, Shawn. Didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah,
there, man.
in the 416.
Yeah.
Woke up into 6.
But that's, the clean. Hang on.
See, I can do what Shawn does too.
Do it. Bring it.
You guys couldn't even tell.
Oh, wait. I forgot to down half step. But yeah, the clean channel is, I think it was, I think somebody was saying they've been channeling Satan on the other 2 channels, but now they want to go back and try the clean channel. The clean channel. Yeah, it just, it doesn't argue with me. And usually, amps that are this efficient, the clean channel doesn't. Well, first of all, most high gain 4-channel amps, the clean channel tends to be an afterthought, and in this case, it is not. And then on top of that, the clean channel can feel really stiff and just not that pleasing, just in the way it feels. But in this case, I don't have any problem,
What guitar are you playing?
it's a Sir.
Yeah. Sounds awesome.
I've had this guitar forever. I mean, I can, just to hear different, something different.
I don't care about hearing different.
Well, here.
Yeah, I knew it.
Is this old chestnut in tune?
Yeah.
It might not be. I haven't played it in a while. Sort of. And that's the thing to keep guys. Sorry, I'm away from the mic. I really need to get a lapel mic if I'm going to actually professionally do this.
Sounds good though, man. Yeah.
Is it working okay? It's funny. This microphone I had to cut a bunch of, because my voice is so gloriously sibilant. I had to actually cut a bunch of top out of it. Hang on a second. I actually had this one down.
Movie voiceovers as soon as this is done.
Yeah.
But this one, it's great with just straight humbuckers. And humbuckers will push it a little bit. But I can still split that.
Robbie's comment.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, dude, Robbie, you totally nailed it. Sean, I'm not sure if you saw that comment. I'm just sitting here laughing like an idiot the whole time you play. It's fucking so good.
Pentatonic.
I got you covered.
You bent it a half step. That was a blue scale now.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the end of the day, it's like that clean channel does not argue with guitars. It just doesn't. I can pretty much pick up anything and be very comfortable right out of the chute. And no, this guitar doesn't suck, so that helps. But
look at that. The Friedman Cali that Robert Baker forced you to buy.
what?
That's the Hyperbole kid is he's got a Friedman Hyperbole kid?
Hyperbole?
Hyperbole? Sure, why not?
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Marty, you're right.
This one's Derek's guitar.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You got 2 of those?
Like, yeah, you can't. I'm trying my hardest right now to get the new Nick Johnson telly too.
Yeah.
I keep messaging Michael from Schecter. He's got a problem with his D20 was having some issues. I have a feeling, I haven't talked to him anymore about it, but I have a feeling that like maybe it got fed phantom power because the amp is working fine, but the 2 notes card went down on it. So that's another note for all you kids out there that have our amps. Do not put phantom power into your embedded, please.
Yeah, I think there was a cat out here in Nashville that just did that. The engineer sent phantom, and whatever pin it goes down, it seems to make something rather upset when it's 48 volts. So yeah, so definitely something to keep in mind.
Yeah, so I'm not sure if that's what happened, but I know that he's having some issues with it. And every time he messages me, I'm like, cool, yeah, like we'll get it fixed up for you right away. So what's up with that new Nick Johnson telly? That's exactly like the Strat, but telly with a
would make me fix your amp faster if I had it.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. You want me to just send you a new one? We'll just swap it out. When you send the other one back, just throw that telly in with it.
Chuck her in. Just chuck her in the box.
Yeah. It's the neck on that, like the Schecter that both of you guys have they're just phenomenal.
Oh, this is yours. I just adopted it.
Yes.
I've adopted it while I'm here.
It's a very comfortable neck. Actually, this guitar is one of the half step down ones. And I think I leave it that way. And the trim on this guitar feels great too. It's a really, 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 really good feeling, trim.
Who wants to bet that Sammy just left because his teeth are floating? Anybody got any bets? Sammy's in the bathroom. Shawn, so Sam is asking.
Oh, sorry, I should be looking at these. I'm sorry, guys.
To play the killer lick from your Sweet Licks video.
The killer lick from my Sweet Licks video. You mean the that one?
I have no idea.
I don't know which one. I only have one Sweet Lick, so it's probably that one. Something like that. Was it that one? Because the rest of it is just. It's all, jazzy jazz goofball stuff. But I think that's what I did. I don't remember, Sam. I'm sorry.
That sounded about right.
Feeling better?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sam is a very sweet cat. He's chimed in a few times on just with ideas for the Rev videos I do.
Oh, awesome.
He's a good dude. Yeah.
He comments on all of them.
Yeah.
Rob's comment just reminds me of what's that? Which movie is it with Adam Sandler where he's like, hey, he's good. That's all I think of whenever Shawn plays anything. I'm like,
yeah, just plays one good note and you're just like, yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
I can't do that. I can't do any of that stuff Sammy does. So that crazy.
Oh man, no
stuff Sam does. None of it.
Is the Cali the guitar?
Yep.
Cool. I haven't actually tried any of those yet. Billy Madison, Andy says.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Is he in like music class or what's he?
Oh,
Stovey's like our audio engineer's like itching to tell us exactly what it is. Yeah.
Set up your new 120.
Awesome, man. Thank you.
Thanks for picking one up.
What type of music are you playing with it? Mostly smooth jazz.
That's what I do.
Yeah. Exactly.
But I play saxophone when I do that.
It's baby making music.
There's Sam with the smart Alex chord.
Play Weird Al. I don't know. I can't do it.
Nice.
Sammy, you sound great, dude. Come on.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate it. Oh, it's the wine burgundy one, dude. I remember shipping that out. That's awesome. Black front plate. Yeah. I love that wine buggy finish, man. That's a great choice.
And that's me being you.
Yeah.
You know what? I just realized I'm clipping a little bit. Sorry, guys.
I think that we should do one of these where, Shawn, you have to show either Sam or I a lick that there's a hope in hell that I'll be able to play. And we have to get Sam to try to show us how to do something that's ridiculous. That
Yeah, but Sam is going to do all the.
See? I got it.
I'm not going to do any of that.
That is what it sounds like. Exactly.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, just do the, what is it, the...
Yeah, for me, I can't. I have to do it. I have to I have to try to pick it. I can't like two-hand tap
all of
that.
it.
Yeah, exactly. You're just going to put a minor second on it. And just every note will just be...
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just play it. It's
There we go.
Now Shawn's gonna chicken pick that whole lick instead of tapping it. Yeah.
That's a really tough. Sam, you can actually two-hand tap that, right? That wasn't that something. Yeah. 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 So but who does that, Sam?
Yeah.
Angus Young did it.
So everybody watching, welcome to, Revs marketing meetings on Wednesdays.
Yeah, exactly.
Where
With
Shawn
way
and
less
Sam
cuss
spend-
words, though. Way less cursing.
Yes.
Yep.
That's great.
I was thinking of you, Rob. I was thinking of you.
Yep.
I was like, man, what can I do that Rob's gonna be into? Well,
AC/DC.
there's only one option. Because I don't know how to play Poison. There's more than one option, but
Didn't we do that on the 80 stream? We did some Poison.
yeah, I just don't know.
We learned it that day.
Yes. I don't remember songs after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm terrible. Learning songs are like cramming for like an algebra test that I don't care about. Once I pass it,
Out the window.
If I pass it, it's out the window. Yeah, I don't learn songs unless I did for Carrie because I wanted to make a living. But other than that, I don't.
You're in it for the music only. Come on now. Don't let them peek that far behind the curtain.
In it for the exposure.
Yeah. Yeah. Making exposure bucks.
Yeah. Just go to the grocery store and tell them that's what you got.
Yeah, I got exposure bucks.
Yeah.
But it's funny now because there's a lot of those tunes I now do not remember how to play. Like I don't remember what my part was, and that went out the window after I stopped in late 2016, 2017, whatever it was. But now I can't honestly remember what I was doing. I'm pretty sure I couldn't play anything from that now. I just tune things out. I forget things. My wife got so mad at me the other day because it was this thing for Chicago 7 came on, the movie. And I looked at her, I was like, we really need to watch that. And she was like, you mean last week when we watched it? That's honestly how bad I am about remembering anything.
That was a good movie.
It was a great movie. It's really good.
It's like the court trial for, I forget what it's about. Sacha Baron Cohen's in it. He's really good. It's like a serious role. He's really good. Yeah.
Yeah, he was really good in it. But yeah, I literally had forgotten that I just watched that. So there's
10,000 exposure bucks equals 1 freedom buck. Yes.
Baker.
Rob, I miss that we're not going to get to hang out at Summer NAMM or do any fun things this year because Canada's still locked down and
we're not hauling in the freedom bucks right now.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Definitely no freedom bucks.
The freedom loonies.
Yeah. I'm interested. I want all you guys that are on here chime in and tell us where you are in the world.
Yeah.
I'm curious where we've got people from that are watching.
Oh, good. Andy, good. There's someone that relates to me. Andy, he says he's the same. Cool.
Nice.
I feel better now. But yeah,
This
where
has turned into a non-metal fest. Yeah, like I absolutely don't know how to play metal at all.
You play one string and you pick hard.
Edmonton, go Oilers! Get out of here, dude! Come on.
Hey, I'll go Oilers over Calgary any day. I'll go Oilers over
Yeah.
Flames for
I'll
sure.
agree with that.
Yeah.
I was an Oilers fan when they had Gretzky. You weren't alive, but you know.
I remember when Gretzky retired. I was like, -1. No, I do remember when he retired. Minnesota.
Oh yeah, man.
500 miles from Winnipeg. Nice. Yeah. Edmonton. Jack, you're in Wilmington. Yeah. Peterborough.
Lakeview or Lakeville, Minnesota. You could drive up. Not right now. They'll turn you away at the border.
I was gonna say you'll get seen back.
Yeah. Marty and Kenora. Got to come visit us again when you're able to come over here.
Yeah, Marty, an hour and a half away that he. Yeah,
Totally.
we can't get to. Southern Ontario. Nice. A lot of Ontario. Peterborough and.
Yeah.
Oh, Ronnie. Rippin' Ronnie's here tonight. So Rob's in Idaho. Yeah, I know. I thought you were in Iowa.
Isn't it Ohio?
Yeah.
That's all the
It's all
same
the same.
shit. I don't know. There's nothing there.
BC. Bro Taint, no, you're not coming to visit again. You were here twice. That was enough. You can come to NAM again. I really hope we get that old dude helping us. Helping us with the booth this next time around at Winter
Yeah.
NAM.
What's his name again?
Oh, man, I don't remember.
It was the same dude, though. Like, I remember
Yeah.
him. Yeah. Oh, that's a story for another stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Southeast
trying to think.
Saskatchewan.
Nice.
I'm trying to think of all
Where
the,
in Southeast Saskatchewan, Nathaniel?
Was that Shawn?
Oh no, I was just saying I was trying to think of all the places I've been in Canada, like Saskatchewan, Moose Jaw, Vancouver,
Yeah.
Ontario, Winnipeg, New Brunswick.
Yep.
I did like an 80-mile bike ride in New Brunswick. I remember I had to get on a boat at one part.
My
One
family
plank
cabin's
ride?
in New Brunswick. Yeah. It's beautiful
Yeah.
out there.
Oh, nice.
I don't
Yeah.
get out there
'cause
too often, but I love it.
oh, it's beautiful. I just remember I got on the boat with my bicycle and I was like, you know what? This is probably going to be a really long ride. If I got to get on this boat to like get where the thing is telling me to go. But yeah, it was gorgeous. But yeah, Canada's. Is it bad that I like Vancouver?
No, Vancouver's gorgeous. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause
It's,
to me,
it's outrageously expensive, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, because Vancouver to me is like the Newport Beach of California. Is kind of how Newport Beach, Balboa, kind of. I remember walking through there, going, "Man, I'll bet you a lot of people like living here."
All I
yeah.
can think of is Arrested Development when he's saying Newport Beach and Balboa.
Well, that's not
Yeah.
far off.
Have you ever been to Montreal? You had to
Yeah.
have played Montreal before.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Robbie.
Bike for 80 miles in New Brunswick.
These circles.
Yeah. Estevan, yeah, Nathaniel, I've been to Estevan probably 4 or 5 times at least. It's a cool town.
I thought Esteban was a guitar player or something.
Keefs.
He
I like.
almost said queefs.
Oh, I was gonna say Keefs. Keefs like THC crystal.
Yeah. No, the leaves? You're a big fan of the leaves, are you now?
Yeah, Vancouver's. Yeah, Daniel is Shawn. He's correct. If you ever get the chance to check out, like the Okanagan area in BC,
Yeah.
like around Kelowna, it is unbelievable. It's so beautiful out there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
there's a reason that's
I've been to like Banff and Lake Louise as well.
Similar.
Lake Louise, yeah.
Similar vibes. Yeah.
Yeah,
Totally.
really beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, real nice.
nice. Man, I'm amazed at how much Canada is in here.
Yeah.
New York, Shawn.
York.
Awesome.
York.
I've been to New York once. And I should really go back at some point because I went like at I think mid-July or late July, and it was just hot and gross everywhere. I went to
Yeah.
see Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
It was
I can't
amazing show.
say that I'm a huge New York fan, but I just
Oh
like,
man,
yeah. I don't know.
really? I mean,
guess I
I-
gotta spend more time there.
Yeah, I had never been to New York, and I remember the first time I went. The thing that just shocked me was at like 3 a.m, walking out of a hotel room, just going, "Wow, what is all this energy?" Like everybody,
Yeah.
like there should be nothing happening, and everything is happening right now. It's like it's kind of like sensory overload for a guy like me. You know, I get scared to death easily. But I do. I don't necessarily want to live there, but yeah. New York's a really great hang. It's just a high energy, really, really cool hang. But it does stink in July.
It was not fun. And when I went, I was like I was broke. Like my wife was a student. Like we went on like the most shoestring budget. So like, you know, it wasn't like I could go to a bunch of cool places to eat or anything. Like not even expensive places, but like I was eating like dollar pizza off of like whatever little dive we could find because which was
probably
cool.
still good.
Yeah. But I would still, you know, I'd still love to go back. My wife went back, you know, a few years after with one of her friends for like the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade and stuff and just loved it.
That'd be great.
Said it was awesome.
Yeah, I hung out in Long Island a bit too. I really like Shawn will tell me if I'm saying it wrong, but Long Island.
No, it's
Island. Long
bass
Island.
player from Intervals is from Long Island.
Yeah.
Long Island.
Yeah.
Like when he gets mad, dude, it gets more aggressive. Just gets like more and more pissed.
Nice. I like Bortat's comment there too. New York is like Toronto. Awesome when you get there.
Yeah.
And awesome when you leave. Aww. Yeah. Well, we joke in Winnipeg about, you know, like Toronto is mini New York.
It's different, but yeah. I don't know. Like Toronto's like, I'm obviously New York has like Central Park, but for to me it's just like just concrete everywhere. Like I need more green space than that.
Yeah.
Like, Toronto still has a little more green space.
Yeah.
You know, not including Central Park, obviously, but.
Shawn's got it sorted out there. Long Island. Nope, that's not it.
Lawn Guyland.
Island. Yeah.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Hell yeah.
So now that we've rambled on about places in the world that we'd like to go, that people are from, anybody have any other questions about the Torpedo stuff? Because that's what we were originally talking about.
Yeah.
Once we started not talking about it.
We did it for a little while. That's how it goes.
Like, for like 6 minutes of this hour and 40.
6 minutes of Long Island. Long Island.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sam's gonna metal. Show me, Sam, because I can't do metal. What am I doing wrong?
Metal. Nothing. You're doing nothing wrong.
That's an interesting question from Andy there. Okay, so y'all shred, but do you guys write songs with lyrics?
Yes.
All right, Sam does.
I do not.
I do not. And I also do not shred.
And I don't write songs. And I don't shred. So, oops.
So, well, now I'm feeling kind of sad.
So now it's basically Sam.
Yeah.
I've actually been working on a new band for the last like year or so. Actually, with Dorian, who you don't see, is helping us produce it. But yeah, that's the first I've got into writing music with vocals and lyrics in the last little while. It's been a fun change. Yeah. Sometimes you want to say real words and not just notes. So, yeah.
Break out a 7-string. It's
break out a 7. The Schecter needs a setup. I gotta bring the 07. I gotta bring the 070 in here sometime.
Derek shreds Subway. Absolutely. Love Subway.
How do you know that, dude? You don't even do our lunch breaks here.
Yeah, dude. Also, you've been here. There's literally nowhere else to eat besides Subway, or the Thai place is awesome.
Thai place is good.
It takes way too long. So, yeah. Stop bragging on the fact that we have nothing in small town Manitoba. Mm-hmm. Yeah. They want some metal out of you.
So as far as metal, let me grab the Mayo just so I can quickly get some drop action going on.
Yeah, I don't have anything that does drop action thing going on.
No.
That's a lie. That gold top Les Paul would drop action.
It would.
I was going to say, or it did before you changed pickups.
I didn't change it.
I don't know. Usually when I go for like a metal tone, I'll go for... I don't know. I'm a big fan of the blue aggression just because I like the tightness of it. So I usually go blue aggression.
Channel 3?
Yeah, channel 3, bright cut. And I don't have the fat on, but I will boost the bass up a little bit and kind of roll that back. And I actually am a big fan of running the presence a little lower. I mean, this mostly makes a difference at higher volumes, but I find rolling the presence back at high volumes really just helps with the shrillness and allows me to get the top end I want out of the preamp without the power amp breaking up in this kind of high fizzy realm. So I would probably go for...
Yeah, now let's hear Shawn's version of that.
Dang, man. No, I guess that's the thing. I can't do that because I was just about to ask you, like, how hard are you playing? Like right hand, it's like I can't.
Barely. For those type of tones, I like to dig in pretty hard, yeah. Okay. And I guess with this, like, I usually like to use like relative tension to about an 11 in standard.
Okay.
So if I'm in like drop C sharp, I'd probably use like a 13 to 60 or a 1260, so I can get away with picking like really, really hard without getting any sort of pitch fluctuation.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Yeah.
Now let's hear Shawn. Like, let's hear your best, like, either outside lick or chicken picking. Like nothing like what I just did. Like what you did, but what you do.
Well, I can't really chicken pick because all the nails are torn off.
Right, true.
Yeah, I can't really.
Fuck.
I can't. Yeah, it's not gonna work. But
sounds like it's working, dude.
Yeah.
Anyways, something like that. But yeah, I don't really get the. I wish I could. That it's a right hand thing. I mean, I just don't have it. Every time I try to do anything metal, it just doesn't work.
It's just a different type of tone. Like, I don't know. It just comes from different fields of playing, really, and I think you definitely have that. So just how you think about it.
Do you not pick very hard with your, like, I don't watch your right hand that much. Are you soft?
It depends on what I'm doing, but for the most part, I don't pick that. Do not.
Okay.
Yeah, play that much. I actually just had to turn everything off because I have lost. I don't know if it's on my interface, but I'm not getting my guitar. Dang it! Something has gone south. I don't know if it happened on my end or what.
I don't know. With that, like, I wouldn't try to pick that hard all the time, but if you can, if you can use a fairly well, like, I'm a big fan of like staging. I mean, the aggression does it too, but if you can use a fairly well staged gain tone and get enough attack out of it, like, that's a lot of your heaviness right there. Like, you don't
but you're muting pretty heavy too, then, because I just you're not by the bridge when you just did that, right?
No, there's a lot of left hand muting.
Yeah. See, I can't do that. It's not gonna happen.
I couldn't do it either. Like, not even close. Like, I don't know how you. I just couldn't do it.
Is that Meshuggah?
Yeah.
Oh God. Thanks.
No. It's like fucking. Oh, it's hard. Dude, I watched them play that live once, and it was like, I don't know if you've ever heard that. Like, it's totally not in your field of stuff, Shawn, but that song "Bleed" by Meshuggah, where it's basically like different permutations of that rhythm over the course of like an 8-minute song, and it's like the kicks doubling it and everything. And you're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
dude?
yeah,
like,
I do.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in drop G. I didn't even play the right chord.
Just for Rob.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Talk about. Nobody else asked anything.
I broke it. I broke
it. Nobody else asked anything.
Shawn broke his
Shawn broke your amp again?
I broke it.
What?
What else is new?
No.
No, I think it's something with my interface. I'm not. Yeah, there's something going on with my interface is so old. I've had this thing for years.
Andy, the 6 onboard sims. I mean, you could, like, if you had a power amp, you could run them through a cabinet, but you don't really want to run speaker simulation through a speaker. That will just give you a lot of weird voice. Like, part of the sound of the amp is the speaker, so when you're doing the same thing twice, it's almost like, yeah, it'll just mess with your tone. So you could run it through a cab. I wouldn't recommend anything that's going to sound like a cab. Like, if you're going to run it through anything, just a flat response monitor.
And you're not going to run, like, the cabinet simulation is not on the speaker output on the amplifier. It's only on the Torpedo embedded output, so it's only coming out of the XLR out on the back of the amp. So unless you are running the XLR into your cabinet, there's no way you're going to get any of the simulation through your speaker cabinet. So you don't have to worry about that. Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Does anybody else have any other questions for us? We got something cool coming next week. We can't really talk about it yet, but there's
couple cool things.
There's a couple of cool things that you should watch our YouTube channel and stuff next week. And then we're actually going to do another live stream next Wednesday instead of normally we do every other week, but we'll be back next week with some
fun stuff.
Yeah,
some fun treats.
Anybody have any other questions for us since Shawn's interface broke and I'm out of ideas?
That's good. We did some Torpedo stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I got 2 AC/DC licks in here.
Good hang with the boys. Couple dad licks. Couple beers. 3. Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Hey, thanks to Shawn, helping the beat. Yeah, man.
Man,
Shawn's your videos are killing it, man. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. It's very sweet.
I love watching them every week, dude. It's great. Whenever you send it over, and as we're getting it teed up, it's like, dude, such good playing. Yeah.
You guys are.
Do you recommend pedals through the front while using IRs? Yeah. Sure. I put all my pedals. Like right now, I'm running my board, which you can't see, but was on one of the last live streams, directed in the front of the D20. So, yeah. So right now I have the G3. And I have my Eventide on. That's it. What is the airspeed velocity of an unladen swallow? Would that be an African or a European swallow?
78.94.
I was just going to say 6, but whatever.
You do know what that's from, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, oh, you're young, but I hope you're not that young.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. All right. Well, with that, I think we're good.
Great hanging, Shawn. Thanks for joining us, man.
Oh, man. Thanks for having me, you guys. This was awesome.
We got to do more of these for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm around.
Yeah. We know where you're at.
You know where to find me at.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. We will see you guys next week if you're around.
Yep.
Keep an eye on our social media and all that fun stuff.
Yeah. Lots going on the next couple weeks, guys.
Yeah. Okay. See you, everyone.
See you later. See you, Shawn.